Well, hey there, fellow sojourners, and welcome back to another edition of Appropriate the Culture. On today's episode, we have a special announcement and a major opportunity to appropriate the culture. I'm Pastor Shane, and I'll be putting my money where my mouth is today as we appropriate some culture. Well, I'm back after a little vacation, and yes, I missed you too. But the wait is all worth it because we've been working very diligently on a major project, the first inaugural feature film from ATC Productions. Here's the trailer.
Recently, I had some test work done, and the doctors, they noticed that there is a mass. It's not large, but it is growing, and so what that means is we are having a baby.
I mean, it's messed up, right? You can't be happy for your own daughter.
Your situation isn't normal.
Yeah, I have the mother-in-law from hell.
No, I'm pretty sure that's where they're all from.
What happened? Have you told her yet? Have you told anybody?
I need us to be together on this.
I could lose you both, then what?
I don't want to die, Joel.
You know, I'm proud of you. And what you did and why you did it matters.
Please don't. Whatever happens next, this was the right thing.
Coming to theaters next month, tickets for our screening in Visalia are already on sale now, and screenings in Tulare will be available shortly. You can get those at our website, atcfilms.com. I hope you come and see the film. I hope you like it. But this film, more than anything, is a proof of concept, and I really hope that this gives you at least a glimpse of our vision for ATC Productions and how we can get there. This entire program has been laying the groundwork for this. We've been chronicling the state of our culture and demonstrating the impact of culture in order to emphasize the need for Christian engagement in the culture. This film is a demonstration of what we've been arguing. The very fact that this film exists, that time and resources and energy and talent went into making this, presupposes our first premise, which is that culture matters. And so what we're seeking to do through art and entertainment is exactly that. Appropriate the culture, capture the culture, use these mediums as avenues to shape hearts and minds to inject a Christian worldview into the marketplace of ideas. We want to make Christian films for non-Christian audiences. That's our goal. Make Christian films for non-Christians to help shape hearts and minds, impact the culture, and ultimately make them more receptive to the gospel. And so this film is a proof of concept. I'm not going to give everything away, but it is a narrative directed at a pressing issue of our time, infused with a Christian worldview. But it's not a polemic. It's not a theological dissertation. There's no altar call. It's not an argument. You can try the head-on approach to persuading people, and I'm all for that. Like, lay out your case, support your arguments with evidence. And that sometimes works. That sometimes changes hearts and minds. But other times, maybe even most times, people just become defensive. That's a different worldview than mine. That's a different position than mine, and a wall goes up. And the shields come out, and they become very skeptical and very protective and very defensive. But a story can slip in. You know, we cry at movies. We get scared at movies. And why do we do that? Well, why do we cry at movies? Those are actors. We know that. So why does it affect us? Because we're empathizing. That's what we come to the theater to do. We empathize. We put ourselves in their shoes. We relate. We put ourselves in their situation. And so if we are presenting a Christian framework and narrative, and audiences are empathizing, then they're taking on that framework. They're taking on a Christian worldview. It is a means to see the world through a Christian lens. And that is a means for us to transmit a Christian worldview to our audience. And the more that they are steeped in it, the more likely they are to embrace it. Now, this film is not mission accomplished. This is just a proof of concept. And one film is not going to change the culture. It's going to take a movement. And so ATC Productions is our vehicle for doing that. It's a nonprofit dedicated to making Christian films for non-Christian audiences, and we're aiming to release a feature film every year. But films are expensive, and so we need help. And that's a challenge for us because most Christians don't actually see the culture as a pressing need. And honestly, kind of understandably. What we have here is a nonprofit with all the wrong metrics. You made a film, all right. How many conversions were there? How many baptisms? How many people were fed? How many houses were built? How many people were healed? How many churches were planted? How many kids were educated? Those are better metrics. It's clearer results. And art and culture is kind of nebulous. It's hard to measure success. And there's a lot of really good charities and really good ministries. And we can feel like resources are limited. And when push comes to shove, I'm going to give here, not there. Making movies is a triviality, right? In the hierarchy of ministries, making films is not going to be at the top. So really, our resources are generally devoted elsewhere. But meanwhile, we lament the state of our culture and the state of entertainment, and we see firsthand the impact that art and entertainment have on the culture. The LGBTQ movement 100% was driven by art and entertainment. American receptivity and acceptance of LGBTQ issues was absolutely promulgated by art and entertainment. They changed hearts and minds. And how'd they do it? It wasn't just one film. It was a constant barrage, a constant sprinkling in of their worldview through media, empathizing with characters, relating, seeing the world through the lens of their worldview. And they're not relenting, as we've shown repeatedly on this program. And so I think it's incumbent upon us as Christians to counter it. C.S. Lewis said that good philosophy must exist if for no other reason than bad philosophy must be answered. And the fact is that television and movies are conduits of philosophy for our time. That might be shameful, but it's no less true. It's been remarkable looking at the state of politics lately, looking at Kamala Harris's dramatic rise in the polls. But why? She hasn't done any interviews, hasn't answered any real questions, hasn't laid out any tangible plans, no real policies, no positions. Her website, notably, has no policy page at all. So what is driving it? Vibes. As The Independent put it, they're calling it a vibes election. Vibes are notoriously hard to spot, and they don't always show up in polls. But as Kamala Harris took to the stage in a cavernous auditorium at Temple University in Philadelphia on Tuesday with her new running mate, they were measurable in the screams and shouts of 12,000 people. The replacement of Joe Biden at the top of the Democratic ticket by Harris has changed the energy in the room, and Harris's choice of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her vice presidential candidate is a sign that she is banking on that energy, taking her to the White House. It's a strategy based on the idea that campaigns are not won on fear alone, but on feeling. Where Biden spoke sternly and in hushed tones of Donald Trump and the threat he posed to democracy, Harris and her running mate are here to provoke, mock, and laugh at their opponents. It's lamentable that we have so fallen as a people that we are not persuaded by facts or reason or logic, that we choose our leaders based on feelings rather than policy or prescriptions. That's lamentable, but it's no less true. We are a people persuaded by feelings and vibes, and that is easily transmitted through art and entertainment. Movies and television and internet shows are conduits for philosophy, and good philosophy must exist if for no other reason then bad philosophy must be answered. That's what we're seeking to do, but we need help. If you want to help in this endeavor, visit our website, atcfilms.com, or click the link in the description and enter your email address in our support section. You'll be added to our mailing list, which will give you detailed information about our fundraising efforts, our mission and vision, and exclusive upcoming details about our next project and how you can help. So be sure to do that. Also, if you like what we're doing here, be sure to like, subscribe, share, and review. Tell a friend. You can also follow me on the major socials, join my author's Facebook page, and I'll see you next time for more Appropriating the Culture.